Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here, and welcome to something a little bit different. This is a video on Star Crusade. It's an early access game, free to play on Steam, and these guys reached out to me and asked if I'd be willing to do a sponsored video. And before you get all upset about sponsored videos, let me just tell you my kind of philosophy on that. I'm never gonna show you guys anything that I don't think is legitimately interesting, and I'm never gonna tell you something that I think is untrue. I wouldn't tell you if a game is good if it isn't. I wouldn't tell you a game is bad if it was. I'm just gonna give you my straight up honest thoughts about it as we go. It is a CCG, and it's doing some things that are improving on other systems that you see in other CCGs, but it's also doing a few things that are really unique. And hopefully I can touch base on some of those as I go through this. So I want to get into gameplay really quickly, but before we do that, I just want to show one of the things that I really like. It's split into, like, your decks are split into factions, okay? So as an example, there's the Consortium Faction, there's the Terran Faction, there's this Hajir Gog faction, there's a faction called Anunnaki, I'm pretty sure that's how you'd pronounce it. Then there's one called Shanti and Hierarchy. Now, each of these have kind of like a unique playstyle. I haven't even gotten the opportunity to try all of them because you have to unlock them by beating that faction in a game. So, as an example, Terran, which I've played probably the most, they have a couple of key abilities that they highlight for you, and these aren't going to make any sense to you right now, so I'll cover that through the gameplay. But I like that it gives you kind of an idea of how to play that faction. So, as an example, Terrans focus on board clearing, mass assault, they're bulky, heavy ships, big artillery, traditional battlefield tactics and command structure, and then battlefield placement. It also gives you a cool little background on just kind of a little bit more to get associated with the factions if you're into the story side of things. For the gameplay, what I'm going to try and show you is just a little bit about how things work. I'll talk about the systems, and from what I understand of them anyways, there's a lot of depth here, and I don't think I'll be able to cover off all of it. But we're gonna give it a shot. So one of the decks that, or one of the factions that I'm really enjoying is this Consortium faction, and they're really based around really like borrowing supplies in advance. And supplies is kind of like what you use to spend your card. So maybe I'll explain it as clear as I can once we have an actual match going. While that's loading, I'll just share with you a couple of other things that might be a little bit different from other CCGs. One of the things that I really like, so you can make custom decks, and you can have as few as 25 cards, and you can have a maximum of, I think it's 40. And the cool thing is that you actually get as much health as you do cards in your deck. So if you build a deck with 25 cards, you're gonna have 25 health. If you build a deck with 40 cards, you're gonna have 40 health. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, why would I not just put 40 cards in there? Well, the thing is, in my opinion anyways, you have a lot less chance of getting the cards that you really need. Whereas if you build like a tight strategic deck, and you can execute it with like 25 cards, then you become like really powerful. And if you know you're gonna get like really powerful combos early on, then you're probably gonna be fine with 25 health. So I think that's a pretty unique aspect. There's also these things called modules, which you can have up to 3 of them. You have to unlock them. You can have up to 3 modules, which are like commander-based abilities. You as the commander will have up to 3 specific abilities. They cost supplies to use, and you can just further customize your approach that way. So, okay, here we go. So early on we get choice of a couple of cards. You can keep or replace any of them. This is the cost, this is the damage output, this is the health, and then each of them have like some of them don't have any special abilities, as you can see here, but some of them do, and I'll try to explain these as we go. It might be tough because we're going to be on a bit of a timer, but early on, I don't think it makes sense to have these really expensive cards. We are going to switch those out and hopefully get things that are cheaper. I don't know if that worked out so well. Maybe. Now, this faction operates a lot with this ability called credit. And what credit does... Sorry, I don't want to actually talk to him. Credit makes it so that you're kind of borrowing the way that I look at it. So what this will do is say, okay, it's going to cost me the 3, as it shows in the top left, to play this card. But I'm going to lose 2 of my supplies, which is these accrue every turn here. I'm going to lose 2 of those on the next turn. So I can play it for a relatively low cost, but it's going to hinder me on the following turn. And so I kind of look at that as like you're borrowing supplies. There's not really a whole lot I can do early on. I'm going to probably just pass by hitting this button here. And then I'm going to give it to my enemy here, Mr. Shodan. I could go ahead and play this initiative where I gain an extra supply so that I could play something early, but I think maybe I'll hold off on that and we'll play this battalion card on the next turn. Now, over here we've got our health. We have 34 cards in our deck, so we have 34 health. And that's actually a really good card that he just played early on. It's really scary because it's going to be hard to take those guys down. So let's see what we have to deal with it. I think this is not a bad time to actually go ahead and throw this out here. That'll give us an extra supply. It's going to hinder us the next turn, but this is pretty formidable to get out early, I'm thinking. So let's do it. So you can see here it's added 2 of these triangles. That means that I'm going to lose those next turn. So next turn I'm only going to have 1 supply to play with, which isn't a lot, but I've gotten a pretty strong card out there. Now, I am going to take my time here to explain a couple of things, otherwise it'll be really hard to do back and forth. So this is our health, 34 health, he's got 30. We also have energy that we accrue from doing different actions. And some cards can use energy as a special ability. We've also got these things, these are called modules. So I have 2 modules in this deck, and the first module is I can deploy a 0-1 dealer, a 1-1 contractor, or a 0-2 bodyguard unit at random for 2 supplies. So it's pretty cheap, and we're gonna get something out on the playing field. We also have this one, I really like this. This is called Battle Hardened. Target unit gets Soak 1. And Soak is cool because basically it absorbs 1 damage. So what I'd like to do is probably throw it on this guy soon and make it so that if one of these guys attacks, they do literally nothing. Somebody with 2 damage attacks and they're only going to do 1. So now this is good for him. He's just going to get a couple of free shots here. But now there's not a whole lot that he can do. So this card's kind of scary. It can add up pretty quickly. He's going to gain +1 for every enemy destroyed unit. So if he starts to pluck away at me, then that could get pretty dangerous. Now, we've got a tactics card, and we have 2 cards. We have units and we have tactics. And I apologize if I'm going fast. It's only because we're on a timer here. And, you know, this guy's a real person, so he's just sitting through this like, why is this guy taking so long? But this is called Contract Hit. It's gonna use a credit for the next turn as well, which does hinder us a bit, but it deals 2 damage to an enemy unit, and if it kills that unit, then we clear 1 credit the next turn. So basically, it becomes just a 1 cost 2 damage to an enemy unit, which is pretty cool, I think. And I might go ahead and just use it on this guy so that I can take out another one with the Eridani Battalion. So let's actually do this. We'll get rid of him. We'll take down another one of these guys. And we're good to go. We'll pass it back to him and then we'll look at some of our cards. So, got a Viking Destroyer, very basic. 5 damage, 8 health, costs 6 to play. Okay, what's he got going on? So you just played Fighter Ace. And this does a couple of things. So it gains Soak if you have other units on the board, which he did. So now that's going to absorb 1 damage out of anything that we throw at it. And at the same time, if he wanted to, he can use some of this energy that I was talking about earlier to give Soak to a target-friendly unit instead. But he didn't use that, he just played the card, and he has it applied to him. He also has this bodyguard that has Screen, and Screen works, as you can probably imagine, where you have to attack that before you can attack anything else. So he's playing this pretty well, and let's just see what we have. I probably want to throw out something with Screen also. I like this Syndicate Agent, but I don't have any other cards with credit right now. If I had this on the battlefield and then I was playing cards with credit, then it's going to deal 2 damage to the enemy every time I do it. I like this tactic. It's a cipher, so I could put that down. He's not going to know what it is. And this might be a good opportunity to do that because he appears to be attacking me. But then I can't put down the turret. What I can do is I could play... I'm going to play this. Because if his units are disabled, like, that's absolutely huge. And then I'm just going to throw in, like, a random unit here. We'll see what happens. Nice. So I got a Contractor, and that has an ability as well. The Cloak ability just means that you can't be the target of anything until you attack first. Oh, this is huge. I really hope he attacks me now. Look at all these units he's playing. And they're all gonna be disabled. Oh, he's gotta be so mad right now. He's gonna be so mad. Okay, well, that's good. Now, I do have a bit of a problem. He's got a lot going on here, and I do not. So, what's our big problem? This guy with Screen's a bit of an issue, so I'm gonna have to take him down. Transfer to Commander with more HP at the end of a turn. Oh, interesting. Okay. I've never seen that before. Soldier of Fortune, that's kind of a cool one. Whenever you play a card with credit, gain +1 attack, revenge, deal attack damage to your commander. Okay. So revenge happens when he dies. So we could let that build up and then kill it. I don't really have much of a choice here. I have to kind of go for the bodyguard. Friendly mercenaries gain +2 attack. This is a mercenary. You can see it listed at the bottom of the card there. This one as well. So I could do this. We're not getting the full benefit out of it. I think maybe what we want to do is throw down the Screen, the turret first.
Concentrate fire.
Let's get rid of this thing. And then all your cards credit cost 1 less. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, let's vote her. So what else here? He's getting a lot of units out, and that's really intimidating. I'm not sure that we're in the best position to try and deal with that.
The cake is olay.
There goes our Screen. Now this thing is going to transfer over. Oh no, it's not. It goes to the guy with more HP, which is terrible. And I'm actually just getting completely wrecked here. We've got to try and clear some of this. Clear some of this space a bit. So I'm thinking we could get rid of this Syndicate Collector. We should also probably get rid of this Battalion. I wouldn't mind playing this Cruiser. Armored works in a way where, regardless of the amount of damage that the card attacking it outputs, it's only going to take 1. So that's pretty helpful, but like it doesn't have Screen, so there's nothing forcing him to attack it. There are cards that you can grant Screen to other units with. Deal 2 damage. So, if I wanted to, I could play the Syndicate, and then we could play the double Retainer, where friendly mercenaries gain +2 attack. And then... the only thing is I don't really need that. I guess I could use this so that I'm able to kill something else. This thing has Soak. I should maybe just kill off this dealer card, because that's actually going to be a pain. Couple of options here. Or we could just play something beefy that he's going to have to deal with at some point. So let's take that approach. And whenever you play a card with credit, gain +1. I think I'm going to clear this out. And we're going to clear out this one. And that's all we can do this turn. The good news is that permanently lose 1 supply crate and draw 3 cards. Okay, that's interesting. So he can now... okay, permanently lose 1 supply. So he'll always be 1 behind, I guess. I've never seen that card before. That's what's interesting to me too, is like every match I've played, I find there's like new cards. I'm like, man, I kind of wish I had that. Deal 2 damage to the enemy unit. If that kills them, then clear that supply. So I'm thinking this is a good time to combo this up. If we put down the Syndicate Agent.
The Syndicate's at your disposal.
Okay. Then we could play this, and that's going to deal damage. All of our mercenaries are going to get +2 attack.
Syndicate sends their regards.
See, he's taking damage there. And this is credit as well, where I can deal 2 damage to something. What do we want to get rid of? These Soldiers of Fortune are kind of interesting. Cost of your mercenary cards is reduced by 1. This guy isn't really doing too much right now. But... let's get rid of the big guy here.
Give no quarter.
This guy can soak 1. That's fine. And then I can still deal 2 damage out and kill something. Actually, I don't think I can target him, can I? Because he's cloaked. Well, let's hold on to it. Let's hold on to that. Okay, that's scary. All other friendly mercenary units gain +1/+1, so he just got really powerful. And Syndicate Security. Activate this. If you have a mercenary unit on board, gain +1 attack. Energize, which is something he can use when he plays it again using this energy here. Also gain +1 HP. So, pretty scary. We're in a bit of a world of pain here. We're in a bit of trouble. Now this is nice. He didn't kill off the Syndicate Agent. So that's pretty handy. So we could play this battalion. That takes us down to 4. These big guys are nice, but they're not really... they're not going to help us right now. If we don't try and stop some of this, we're going to be in trouble. So I am going to need to deal with this. Deal 2 damage. And get that supply back.
Sends their regards.
This guy's trouble. We either have the Viking Destroyer or the Battalion that we can play for cheap. I think we may have to just kill him. Then he's gonna take 5 damage. It's gonna be tight. We should play this so he takes damage.
Sends their regards. I'm coming for you. This isn't over.
And then we could throw out another... It'd be great if we got a bodyguard. I believe the bodyguards have screen. Or we could try and soak here. Just so that we at least have some damage reduction. But I think he's just gonna go for me anyways. 6, 8, 9. He's only got 1 card left though. That's my saving grace here. Let's bring out something here. We got another cloaked unit. Ah, it's not ideal. Let's see what he has. Deploy a 1/1 glorious squad and give it +1/1 for every friendly mercenary on the field. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's not good. That is really bad. We could be in trouble. Okay, I've got screen, but that's really not gonna save me. I think we're in trouble. I think we're in a little bit of trouble here. Let's throw down the screen. Throw down the Corvette.
Card is here.
And then... Man, it's really tough.
Concentrate fire!
Do we want to take out this guy? Because his activatable is over. This guy may actually be better. But he's gonna... I don't think there's anything that we can actually do here.
Concentrate fire!
I think we're at a loss.
Target sighted.
Yeah, I think he's got us. It was a good match. And I will say, like, the challenge level is quite high. There aren't a ton of people playing, so I've seen some of these names before. Like, I'm pretty sure I've played Showdown. And I may have beaten him before, but he's gonna best me this time. Good game. Good game. He just got a little bit too unwieldy. He got a really good head start. The Soldier of Fortune card, I probably should have focused on just attacking him hard, but then he would have had even more units out there, so it makes it pretty challenging. But yeah, let's go again. Let's take another dive in there and see what can happen. Oh, maybe what I'll show you after this, I'll show you how the deck building works, because you can build from scratch, you can build off a base. There's quite a few options, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna be going first. That's cool. I don't want to have this early on, and I don't even want to have this one early on. Let's get something lower. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Now, her abilities are kind of interesting. She's got these mutagens that she's able to, like, place on units or commanders or whatever, and then she can activate those mutagens to cause all sorts of different problems. So, as you can see, this one here, she's got a mutate Giharsis, where they're gonna lose 1 HP, but gain 2 attack for the turn on whatever she puts that on. It's pretty tough to deal with. Now, we don't have anything we can do early. Our initial hand drawn here was pretty rough. Okay, so I do have a Cloaked Assassin that I'll bring out, and I'm okay with this. The nice thing is she's playing with 25 health, so I think what I'm gonna do is, unless I get swarmed here, which is totally possible, I'm gonna really focus on just hammering down on her health there. Okay. She's a chatty one. She's a chatty one. You can do emotes here, like you right-click and you can make jokes or whatever. And you can also mute people, so you can mute emotes if you want. Which is pretty handy, not gonna lie. Okay, this is good. This is better anyways. Maybe I'll take the screen here. If she does attack it, we're gonna kill off both of those cards. And then I get a 3 damage on her, and I think we're gonna be okay with that. I'll play the volunteer or the sergeant next time. Okay, so she threw out the sniper. Gets to deal 1 damage right off the bat. That was a nice play, because that did kind of get around playing the, having to deal with the screen directly. So you see what she did there? She lost 1 HP on herself, and then was able to attack, which is an interesting way to use these mutagens for sure. This one's cool. So this is a cipher. They're not going to know that we play it. Return deployed enemy unit to the player's deck. So whatever they play next, whatever unit they would play next would get returned. But I think for now, I'm going to keep throwing up these screens. It's really valuable, and with the health and damage output that they have right now, I think we're okay. I think that's probably the right call. One of the things I would say about these snipers, I've had these in my decks as well. The snipers are cool because you can play it for 2 supplies, as you can see in the top left. And when it comes out, it's going to deal 1 damage to whatever you want, okay? But if you spend 4 of your energy, which I don't think a lot of people understand, because I don't see enemies use it very often. But if you spend 4 of your energy when you play it, then you just get to return it to your hand. And your energy's constantly building up. So for 2 supplies, you just get to deal damage to anybody that you want. I think that that's pretty great. But, I mean, if you really need the unit on the battlefield, then that's fine. That's cool. I understand. Now we've got the gunboat here, which is nice. It's a really powerful unit. Gives every other unit +1 attack. So we'll see if we can survive that long. See? There's what she did. So she brought out the, Oh, that's interesting. So she brought out the sniper to deal the damage, returned it, and then killed that off with her remaining cards. That's... interesting. She had to expend a lot just to deal with that 1, so, I'm kind of okay with that. Now, she's got these stormtroopers here, or the... sorry, stormers, I should say. I'm thinking we could throw up this Corvette, which is a real pain to deal with. She's probably gonna have a pretty heavy-duty card coming out next time. So maybe what I could do... If I play the Sergeant, I'm gonna get the Sergeant and a 1/1 Volunteer, okay? That's fine. We're just probably gonna swap the Stormer for the Sergeant, and then I'll have a 1/1 out there. But I'd be able to play the Red Tape, which means the next thing that she brings out is gonna go back into the deck. Not into the hand, but back into the deck. And I imagine that with 5 supplies, that's gonna be... It could be pretty substantial, like I wouldn't want to be dealing with this. But the other alternative is maybe I bring this out, and then I play that next time. Play that combo next time. Yeah, let's do that.
Your trump card is here.
Speaking of trump card, I'm pretty sure Trump, he's like a huge Twitch streamer. I'm pretty sure he played this recently. I'm not sure if any of you guys follow him or maybe caught that, but... Okay, now what? Destroy target unit if you have a mercenary in play. We don't have a mercenary, but we hopefully will soon. This guy is a mercenary. We can't play both, but I think we're gonna throw this out there now. What do we want to get rid of? None of these have any, like, really special abilities. He does have a mercenary out there. He actually has 2. And I could just go for damage. If I deal 5 damage, he's down to 14. He could deal me back 6, 7, 9, which takes me down to 19. He's gonna catch me pretty quickly if I do that.
Getting it done.
I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna throw these out here. Then we're gonna play the Red Tape Cipher. And if we can keep some of these guys alive here, I imagine he's gonna want to trade. Because he's gonna be scared now that he's only got 14 health. But if we can get this gunboat out and still have some of this, this could be pretty substantial. We also have the neutralize, so let's see what happens. Clearing the field first, it looks like. Yep, okay. A little intimidated. Everything's clear, now watch, she's gonna play something huge. Boom, gone. I don't know what it was, but it cost 6, and that was awesome. You can do a view here. Return deployed enemy unit to player's deck. Yeah, you can't see it, but basically this recaps. Oh, that's what it was. He tried to play a Viking destroyer, and that's too bad. So sad. But basically you can replay like what happened on the previous turns. I think that's pretty helpful. So now I want to kind of overload him, and what's our best way of doing that? I don't know if I want to give him a big target in this gunboat just yet. I think we'll just throw out the rover, and we could even give it soak. And then the next turn we can play. We could play the gunboat. Target unit gains mutate. Okay, cool. So it's got regeneration on there, which is something we'll have to deal with. Friendly mercenaries gain +2 attack. Okay, so this is gonna cost 2 supply less for each card with credit you played this turn. This is gonna be a tactic which wouldn't get applied to this. Because it is a mercenary, so I was thinking of combining these, but... Oh, do we want to hold off on that? I think we should just get it out there. That way we have a mercenary on play, and then we can destroy a unit. It's also pretty intimidating, so... Hopefully that freaks them out a little bit. Here we go. Back to them. And I will say, like, I know I've done this same deck twice in a row here, but we've played 2 different decks here as well. And just the variation is, I think, in my opinion, it's you see so many different play styles. I've probably played a total of, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 games. And my win rate is not that high because I probably haven't played as efficiently as I could. But every single time, I feel like I'm playing against a completely different approach, and it's really like, I like that anyways. I think that's cool. So what did they even do there? They just threw everything at what did they do? I was talking and I didn't notice how we got killed there. Okay. So, we don't have any mercenaries out there. We can bring out the gunboat. Oh, you know what we should do? It doesn't matter either way, I guess.
More guns for me, more guns for you.
And then we could clear out this.
Let's ride.
Yeah, let's do it. And then we'll soak damage. It's not even really gonna matter. If we put the soak here and it wants to attack, it's still gonna deal enough because it's still gonna deal the 4. I think we'll be better off playing something here. And what do we got? A dealer. So all our cards with credit cost 1 less. And I could have put this retainer out there, but I don't think we need to do that. Let's see. Mutate gains soak. Yeah, seeing this regenerating, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be hard to deal with. Okay, when your commanders attack, disable all enemy units. That could be a lifesaver right here. We do have a mercenary, so we can just destroy any unit that we want. We can destroy both of his big units here if we want to, because we have this tiny little mercenary here who's not doing a whole lot other than making it cheaper to play some of our cards. So, do we just destroy those? And then we could hold on to this ceasefire. Yeah, I think so.
Let's ride.
We could even... Yeah, I'm gonna take this guy out. And then... we'll hold off on that one still, and we'll just play another random guy here. Okay, we don't really need 2 dealers. I don't know. Oh, that actually does stack. So, cards with credit in them are gonna be really cheap to play if we draw any. Okay, so he's sniping. Sniping again, starting to use that energy. That's all he's got. He's got that sniper card, so he can dish out 2 damage per turn if he wants. That's going to be about it. Now look how cheap this one is to play. It's another mercenary.
Eridani Battalion in formation.
We could give +2 attack if we want, and that actually might be quite beneficial. Because now even these guys can throw down.
Always wanted to use this. Always wanted to use this.
And
Let's ride.
I think I'm just gonna keep going. I'll throw Soak on here, just in case he's able to help with this one. Because he'll Soak as well. And then we'll probably just have a net neutral here. Or maybe he'll just attack this, this rover. But I've got Soak too, so we'll see.
Need an upgrade?
And he's probably not going to attack me. There doesn't make a whole lot of sense to play this right now. I know that he's only got that sniper card, so I'm going to hold off on Ceasefire. And if he doesn't come up with like a miracle card here, we probably have this one in the bag. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty good card for him to get, and then he's gonna snipe a bunch of my guys.
Go to the wrong side.
So that's pretty good. Okay. So, we have to deal with this thing.
Concentrate fire!
That's the only way I think we can do it, right? I think so. We'll play our rover.
A good decision. Concentrate fire!
Get rid of that.
Let's ride.
Take this down to 1. He's gonna snipe a couple times. But I'm just gonna go ceasefire on this turn. So if he does attack me, it's gonna disable all his units. Faces to place. Hopefully is going down. And about the health thing too, like I've tried strategies where I just build like a full deck to have 40 health. It doesn't really work that well. I think there's like a sweet spot. Probably around 30-ish. Good game. Good game. That was fun. It's actually like, when you win, it's like, it feels legit. Hey, and we actually leveled up. That's cool. You can see it here. We're private now. That's awesome. And you get hero experience. I'm not certain, but I'm thinking there's like a combination of your overall rank and then your hero experience as to where you get matched. And then we get 5 credits every time we win. That's cool. I should actually check that card really quick. So, if I wanted to, you could just go in and edit your decks from here. I prefer to go back and go in through the decks area. This way, if you want to make a new deck based off of one of the existing decks, you could do so. But I'll go into my Consortium deck here. Over on the left is all of the cards that we have currently in the deck. And then over on the right is all of the cards within that faction that are available to you. Now let's just scroll through here and let's see if we can find, where was that new card that we just got? Right here, franchise. Okay, so gain 1 empty supply crate. So this is really good for this type of deck for obvious reasons. Supply is pretty important, and this can make it so that I think once you get to like the 10, then you can get to 11, you can get to 12, and then you can keep spending, yeah, so to build a deck, if you wanted to do so, let me just show you, I guess, the easiest way. So you'd come up to create a deck, and then you could base it off completely empty one, or you could go from a base deck. So I'm gonna go from a base deck, and let's say we wanted to build one of the Shanty, okay? It'll give you a quick overview, like I showed you before, of what you can do with the faction. Focuses on genetic manipulations, aberrations, and card modifications, okay? You can read a little bit of the background, but that was like the deck that we just faced off against, right? So you'll notice in here a couple of keywords that are really jumping out. It's mutate, transform. Basically, mutations is the key though. And you can see if you right-click on any of the cards, it'll just explain to you what everything does. I'll admit, it can be a little bit overwhelming at first, and I think my first couple hours I was really like, I don't know if I can grasp it, but once it clicks, it's like, it just kind of makes sense. And this is a really helpful feature down here. Let's say that you are looking for cards with screen. Okay, so let's say you're in the faction, you can look for screen. There's only one card that I have unlocked in the faction that has screen. You can also search by name, whatever you want, it's just gonna filter it essentially. But if you go to your neutral, it's gonna show you all of the cards you have with screen, and neutral you can obviously use in any of the factions. So, pretty cool. And then you've got your modules as well. Let me just remove the filter. There's no modules in neutral, but as you go through, oh, where are we here? Here we go. Sorry, I have to be in the Shanty because we're making a Shanty deck. We have 3 different modules here, and those are the kind of activatables beside your commander. So she would have 3 here: Natural Selection, Plague, Nexus, and Release Mutagen. This is the standard one, and then these are some that I've unlocked with card packs. So let me show you how the card packs work really quick as well, because we're here, why not? And you can go into the store, and I think everything's localized for your currency. So if you want to buy like a pack of 5 cards, that'd be $9 Canadian. It's probably, what, maybe $6, $7 US? I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyways, what I do, what I would do is use my in-game credits to just buy these packs. So I've got 300 credits, so I might as well just do that. Eventually you'll be able to buy like campaigns, card backs, avatar skins, etc. Right now it appears that there's only boosters, so let's buy these. I'm gonna buy 3 of them, and then we'll open them and see what kind of cards we get. Okay. This is actually pretty satisfying too. So it opens and then you click on them to reveal. Abaku Scavenger. This is a conscript card. Steal 1 energy from your opponent on attack. That's cool. Energy, you could build some really synergistic decks. One of the Terran abilities is, I believe, Firepower, I think it's called. I took down a note here about it because it was really intriguing. Yeah, Firepower. And there's cards that grant your commander additional firepower when they're in the field. And then you could play a whole bunch of cards that are based off of the firepower skill. It's probably hard to follow if you're not looking at those cards, so I hope I didn't confuse you there, but let's check the next one. Deal 1 damage to a unit and give it a shield. Shield is removed after absorbing the initial damage dealt to the unit, so shields are actually quite powerful. This is a Terran card. Deal 3 damage to a target enemy unit and 1 damage to adjacent units. That's something I see as like a theme in Star Crusader, where there's a lot of things that get done based on adjacency, and so placement of your cards actually becomes really important as well. Command Center's pretty cool actually in a Terran deck. Basically you put it out there and you deploy a guardsman, and you actually, as one of your stock modules for Terran, you can deploy guardsmen for 2 supplies. And with the Command Center out, every time your guardsman attacks, you get to draw cards, so it's pretty helpful. This is reassemble, give a friendly unit revenge, gain 2 copies of this card. Revenge is activated when a unit is destroyed. Well, that's cool. Gain 2 copies of this card. There's probably some combos that you could use with that, but it's above me right now. And then same thing. Okay, cool. You're guaranteed to get 1 rare card every deck. So if you look here, you can see like what type of rare it is. There's regular, there's conscript, there's elite, heroic, and paragon. So you can see majority of the ones that we got are conscript, but we got our rare elite card here as well. I do have like 1 or 2 paragon cards and a few heroics, but they are pretty rare. So let's take that and let's open the next one. So, Wolves at the Gate. Target friendly unit gains Cloak until the next turn. Energize 4, another random friendly unit gains Cloak. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool, and doesn't cost anything. So for 4 energy, you can Cloak 2 of your units. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, that's like, I feel like that should be better than Conscript, but... Espionage. Whenever target unit was not attacked by the end of the turn, draw a card. Okay. Here's our rare. All friendly units gain screen. Oh, that's actually massive. That's really good. I feel like screen is so strong. And, yeah, like I try to get screen. I try to put cards with screen into like any deck that I've made. Battle Walker, at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to a random enemy character. I think this is a really good card for 3 supplies. It's got really good damage, really good health, and just, it's early on, it's really tough to deal with, and that 1 damage can kill off a lot of enemies. We got another rare here, so that red tape that we've seen before. I like this. I think that's pretty good. And Emanation, this is for the Anunnaki. Cipher, which means they can't see what it is when we play it. When an enemy unit is deployed, pacify it, and pacified units cannot attack. They can still block, they can still do everything else, they just cannot attack. And there's ways to get rid of pacify, but you have to have like a really specific deck. And so, as you can see, there's tons of different abilities and synergies, and I haven't even begun to scratch the surface, I don't think. So, experiment as you will. Dormant Pathogen, target unit gains Mutate, deal 2 damage to the unit's owner. Okay, that's for the Shanty. Destroy a friendly unit and gain 3 supply till the end of the turn. That's really good. That's really good for the Consortium stuff. I like that. And it's, yeah, and it's free. So you could play a card super early. If you're just getting rid of like a dummy card, that's really good. Void Probe, activate, nullify a unit. So what this does is, let's say as an example, we had that ship that gave +1 attack to everything, and let's say that was against us. I would be able to say, I could play this card, and I would say, we're gonna remove that text, essentially, which means you're gonna lose that bonus, but they still get to keep their card. So that's actually, it can be pretty powerful for how cheap it is. Unstable Transformation, transform a friendly unit into a 4/3 unstable monstrosity. I like that. Colonial Militia, it's a neutral card. It's an elite. Gain 1 HP for each other friendly unit in play. Wow, okay. So you play that after you have a bunch on the battlefield, and this thing immediately becomes really strong. Oh, hello. That's a good way to end. It's a module. It's a heroic card. Viromorphic spores spread effects to target units from adjacent units to its left. It's very specific, but because this shanty deck, you're going to be mutating like pretty much everything. I think it's probably pretty helpful. But yeah, that's how that works. Well, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I can show you guys. You could do, oh, this is something, I won't actually go through this, but what you can do is do a raid, which is basically like presenting you with cards, and then you're slowly building your deck, and then you fight, which I think is a really cool game type. So it's kind of like doing a draft, essentially. And yeah, that's about it. The only other thing I'll say that they're doing, like, which is really cool, it is early access, so if you want to leave feedback, you can do so right here. I've left them some feedback. There's been some times where I'm like, I need a clearer representation of what the game is, like how the specific abilities work, and I've left them some feedback on that. One of the things that I'm a little bit critical of, and it's probably, like, I'm just really picky, I think, but I don't like how some of the numbers overlap with the icons that they're in front of. And I also think that the cards themselves look generally really good. Like the pictures look good, like the backing on the card looks good, but I think the text, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the same vibe, like the futuristic sci-fi vibe. And I get that you still have to make the text easy to read, but I just think that, like, all this good work that they do, making these cards look really beautiful, is somewhat taken away by the fact that these numbers, I think, are a little bit too big. They're a little bit hard to read when they're touching the borders of the other shapes that they're in front of. And then the text in the description, I just think, doesn't quite match. And I'm really hoping that they can sort that out. I think that that would be really, really nice. The only other criticisms I would have is that it can feel a little bit overwhelming when you first start. There is a tutorial, but like you can't cover everything at all. Because it's just, there's so many different skills that you just have to learn as you play it, right? So, yeah, I've enjoyed it. I'm enjoying my time with it. I will continue to play Star Crusade, and this is like, I can get into a game and I can sit down, play a game in 20 minutes, and it's like, that's it. Some games are really quick, some games go a little bit longer, but it's a really good pick-me-up, and it's a pretty good CTG, I think. So I thought you guys might like to see it. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to go and check it out. It is free to just try it if you want to. You can buy additional decks and booster packs, but you can also just buy them with in-game currency that you earn after you get wins. Oh, and I should also say on that note that you can earn like boosts of credits here just by fulfilling challenges. So this is saying win 2 games with the Hierarchy faction, win 2 games in raid mode, and you get 30 credits. And that's a really quick way to build up your credits so you can get your boosters a little bit faster. So yeah, that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and let me know what you guys think about Star Crusade. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.